All right, let's get the party started. How's everybody doing? Let's do a brief audio and visual check. Coach Jay, how are you?
What's going on, Coach Dakota? Sounding good, man. Feeling good. How you doing?
Sound good, feel good. Same. I think I overate today and feeling. Yeah, it was just one of those where you break your diet after I went to the gym and then sparring and like, God, I earned this, and then you just kind of eat too much.
Yeah.
Yes, but yeah, I might change the name of this because tonight's a big one. I talked about it last night. We'll talk a little bit more tonight. Let me see what I can do in terms of changing. I mean, we have slow markets with it's just as with Coach Dakota. Let me get this adjusted for us. But trading for a living is going to be the topic for tonight. We'll go through our regular rapid fire. I'll let you kick it off, Jay, while I change this. Jay, how was your day trading, and what are you seeing? But before you answer that, let me make sure I do our risk disclosure. As always, in the YouTube chat, there's our Top Step risk disclosure. This is not financial advice. It's for educational purposes only. It's not a signals class. There it is. So hit it, Jay.
Trading day was pretty good. What's going on, everyone? Hopefully, everyone had a good start to your week. Trading day went pretty good. Took longs in fast markets. I think I took one more trade after that. Caught a little bit of a short with some micros. Once we kind of looked like we made a topping pattern on the day. Ended the day up about 50 points in the Nasdaq, which is a decent day, a pretty good day. Good start to the week. And what am I seeing right now? Looking at a 30-minute chart on the Nasdaq, maybe looking a little bit heavy. I have this first 30-minute opening range up. If you can put my screens up real quick, I'll show you what I'm looking at.
And there we go.
First 30-minute range here. We have VWAP still in this range. It is kind of trading down to the lower extreme of the range. So maybe looking a little bit heavy. If we do start to sell off below that 23,000, I'm looking at this 200 moving average, which is this white line on my chart here at 22,955. But we need volume to get there. Right now, kind of just chopping around. So I'm staying patient. I know we do have CPI coming out tomorrow, so I don't know how directional we get in this overnight session. So just keeping that in mind.
Like it. And how about for gold?
Let's take a look. Let's take a look at gold here. Gold so far looks pretty. Let's take a look at the daily in gold. Yeah, this is what I was looking at. So on the daily in gold, we have the 20 and the 50 moving average, which is these two lines here. The yellow is the 20, the purple is the 50, and those are starting to tick lower. Coach Paul and I were talking about the potential cross of the 20 and the 50 here. So far in this session, it's kind of using it as a support, this 3350-ish area. I'm looking at that so far tonight in gold. It is saying a little bit of a long, maybe up to 3370s. Looking at this volume kind of leaving this range to the upside, we can see we came back, tagged this VWAP. It's leaving the range to the upside. Gold is range bound. Gold is pretty range bound. Right now, it kind of feels like we're in the middle of that range, if not towards the lower end of it. Actually, yeah, we're dead set in the middle of that range. I don't see much opportunity here in gold right now. What about you, Dakota? What are you looking at?
I am trying to adjust this. For some reason, my
What are you
keyboard
adjusting over
wasn't
there?
my keyboard wasn't working, man. I don't know why. But I think we're good to go. I'm not really looking at anything, to be honest, right now. I'm looking at the charts for the first time, just like everybody here. But I have not this daily. I have the hourly. Let's take a look at the daily here in the Nasdaq. And you went through yours. Throw in anything if you want to add to it, but nothing really has changed. We have data, like you said. We have data coming out tomorrow, and then the next day and the next day. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that's going to be very big for these markets. And then, of course, it's earnings season. For me, the way that I'm seeing it, I'm going to talk about it tomorrow, is, how are these earnings and how is the earning call? Like the inflation data is going to be very important with how this market's reacting. How is the tariffs affecting these companies? How is the tariffs affecting this inflation. So I think this week's going to be very crucial when it comes to like starting to get a look behind the curtain of how these tariffs are affecting these different markets or the economy in general. But over here on the daily chart, 23,100s up here at the top end of this range. This is a beautiful consolidation pattern, right? We came down, we tested these 800s, we bounced off that, we came up today in just one day from down up all the way back up to the top. We've got up to 23,060s, and now we're starting to slowly sell off. It looks like tonight we're still in the middle of this range, maybe the upper part of it. It's hard to say anything from this point of view. So on the hourly, there's a little bit, maybe something a little more interesting coming into play. If anything, it's looking more bullish than it is bearish. You can see there's that range, this upper end, and then this lower end. We had that gap down, and then we just completely filled that gap. But here is something that is starting to show, like, can we break all-time highs? Can we just move to all-time highs? I mean, any bearish pressure is just gone when it comes from the trend and the technical perspective, outside of, hey, this is the top end of the range. But this, these lower lows or lower highs is gone. These lower lows are gone. We broke out of that. We didn't really even hesitate, other than at the first 5 minutes, 15 minutes, where we went up, tested it, pulled all the way back, and then we just broke through it. But it was just, what, 6 hours? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, man, all day just green until power hour. But yeah, look at how many red or green candles in a row. Very bullish. Now we broke out, and so my question is, do we have a nice pullback? We are at the pullback to this level, this pivot from Friday, 23,000, big round even number. This is resistance, and you can see it's acted as resistance a few times before. And so the fact that we broke out, are we going to see either continuation back down, retest the trend, or are we going to see it break out? Maybe we come back down and then break out. So there's a few ways we could see this. I mean, maybe we could even, throughout tonight or even London session, we could see this play out. I don't know. We have data, big day tomorrow with data and news. So maybe the right thing to do is just patience. Let's make this game plan. We're drawing some things on the charts, and we'll see what happens. Like, that's what I'm looking at tonight and going into tomorrow. Like, hey, is there areas we could test? Are we going to break out? Is this just a pullback for continuation? And you can imagine if we delete all that and we just say, oh, what about Fibonacci, right? I know, do we do it from the bottom of there and just say, we just pulled back at 0.236. Can we see a 0.38? I know Barron talks about this and extensions. I don't know, but there's definitely going to be some movement tomorrow, hopefully. On the gold, maybe a little bit similar, to be honest. We had that nice rally, but then today we had kind of a double top and then that nice sell-off. Last night I was looking for these 3350s to come into play. We did come down there. This is exactly where I was looking for the market to come last night. So we're there. So I'm going to just say this is where I'm looking to buy. I said that, yeah, if we come back down here, there's could be definitely some buying opportunities. Well, we're here, right now. So I'm going to be looking for buying opportunities for a break higher. Maybe come back and retest these, 3370. Maybe we come back up and test these highs. We have the data tomorrow. It's gonna affect most of these markets, right? So I know the double top and we had to sell off today, but these 50s held really strong. So I'm happy to see that, and I'm looking at this by the dip here in gold. So maybe a better opportunity to trade gold and see about longs in the gold rather than trying to squeeze anything out of the NASDAQ. And I mean, we still have 20 minutes at the top of the hour. I'm not really seeing, I haven't zoomed into the 5 minute or anything, but it's the same case, really. That hourly chart, the only thing on the 5 minute I'm seeing is we had that pivot here at these 360s. So if we do catch the momentum to the long side, I could see it. I could see some longs playing out in gold. Data tomorrow. Anything to add on either of that, Jay?
Nope. I do see the longs. Like I said, I do see the longs in gold. Kind of looks like a long is playing out right now. We are holding this 20 moving average as a support down at 33.55s. Maybe if we get a pullback into 33.50, 64. I would take a long in gold, looking for about 12 to 15 points. I think, like always, I'm going to wait for that spike of volume that comes in during the 8 p.m. Central Time, and see if that gives us any opportunity from there.
Yeah, no, I just completely agree with you. Looking for opportunities along, like I said, I'm going to be a little more patient. We talked about this today during fast markets. I had one little scalp and some micros, paid for dinner, and was done. And there's always opportunity. Everyone trades these markets differently. Traders, I'm sure that there's been some that just crushed it yesterday. But for me, it's kind of the wait and see type day while we wait for that data. Is there any data tonight? Let's see.
There might be. Let's take
Chinese,
a look at Trader Hub. That could move us.
Yeah, it could.
Bunch of numbers out of China.
Mm-hmm. But then tomorrow, that inflation's the big one. The big one.
Nick for a tick in the chat. What's going on, Nick?
Can we get on the phone like on Fox? the phone a friend and then put someone on live on speaker.
Right.
Nick, I see you over there doing well.
I'm in. Talk about making a living from trading.
Yeah, talk about it. Talk about
keep going, Nick.
Keep going.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah, this time next year, I want to see you still in that live account. Longevity, man. Longevity is the name of the game. Just mugging NQ for pennies. I think that's all I have, to be honest, from the technical analysis. We reviewed those two, and we looked at the data. Do you want to just dive into this? I don't know how long of a conversation this topic can be, but we could stretch it out, and it might even take longer than what we have left. So you can see the title. Can you make a living day trading futures? Is that the right question? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts, Jay? I know I posed a question last night. I kind of brought you into it because you have some extensive knowledge. You work on the VIP. You're a coach. You've talked and worked with traders, myself included, and it's a very big and it's very important topic that it doesn't get discussed enough. The realistic side, right? We all know the fantasies. We all know the flashy. What is it, Mr. and Mrs. Smith? Here's my Lamborghini. Here's this. Here's that. And honestly, I'm just gonna take a guess and say that most of that's either affiliate money or money that they didn't earn from trading. Maybe like a very, very tiny percentage is from trading, but then they're pushing this as a trading lifestyle. So, genuine question: what's your overall thoughts on it? And then we can maybe start to dive in depth from topic to topic.
Great question.
Answer some questions in the YouTube chat.
Great question. And I think we might hear a little bit more about this from my perspective, at least whenever those episodes come out from our trader experience in Chicago. But can you make a living from day trading futures? Yes. Should that be everyone's goal? I'm going to say no. It should not be everyone's goal. I don't think it's realistic for it to be everyone's goal, even in this chat. If it's your sole source of income, I think there are ways to do it. I think there are ways to. I see some people in the chat saying, you can supplement income. For some people, it is going to be their main source of income, and I think for every person, you decide when that is for you. We saw Barron just quit his job, but one of the things that I remember kind of distinctively when came on to be a coach at Topstep Dakota. I think this was before you were on as a coach, but we had a meeting with Hoag, and Hoag said he personally doesn't know many traders where trading is their sole source of income, right? And that's kind of stuck with me. And I'll be fully transparent. Trading is not my sole source of income, and I don't think for me it'll ever be. I think there was a point in my life where I thought it would, but where trading sat for me, that wasn't a comfortable feeling, right? We deal with a lot of uncertainty here, and I think having some type of certainty in your income, for me, will never, day trading will never be my sole source. It'll be one of the multiple sources of income that I have, but it'll never be the only one.
I love it. And we have a question from the man himself, Nick. So
Mm-hmm.
Nick Vertic says, genuine question to you both. Were you both forced into trading full time, or did something finally flip your mindset too? Let me make sure I think I want to understand that question a little more, Nick, to where being forced into trading full time versus something like flipped. Because when I started out at a pretty dang young age, to be honest, relative to what a lot of people when they first enter this market or start learning how to trade. And it wasn't really day trading. Okay, so I want to make sure there's a very difference between trading for a living, or because I come from like a stocks and options background, and when I first started learning, it was stocks, penny stocks, going into regular stocks, and then options. But then we're talking about day trading, so I think that's a little bit something different, because I could go through and make an argument and say, trading stocks and options for a living. Like, can somebody do that? And maybe talk through that way. The fact that I trade options and I could put an options position on and hold it for like 3 months, and then at the amount of time that takes versus, and also having a job versus, hey, we're going to be day trading, that takes more time every single day out of my life than maybe buying some stock and holding it for 3 months, or buying some options and holding it for 3 months, to what we're doing here, where it's like, a couple hours every single morning, a couple hours every single night, and we're day trading this. So I think there's definitely a difference between the two. The day trading to me is a lot more unique and, may I say, volatile, aggressive. I don't know. I can think of a lot of words to describe the day trading aspect, but it depends. I know I say that a lot. I say it frequently, but it really does depend. It depends on every individual. It depends on the individual's personal goals. It depends on the individual's situation. And ultimately, the conclusion is similar to yours, Jay. Not everybody should day trade for a living as their full or sole source of income. I think that's the wrong approach, where it should not be your sole source of income. If it is, then great on you. It's very difficult because day trading, just like the markets, it has its ups and it has its downs. And the downs are much, much heavier than anything that I've experienced, or anything I think anybody could experience, where having a different source or multiple sources of incomes that might supplement your day trading is much more stable. It's better, emotionally, mentally, psychologically, whatever. And it's going to put a lot less burden on your trading and help your trading, knowing and having that peace of mind that, hey, if I take this losing trade, my bills are still paid because I have a part-time job, compared to, hey, if this trade's a loser, I'm not going to be able to pay my utility bills. And then you make emotional mistakes. So there's a lot we could talk about, man. There's a lot going into this topic. There's a lot about this. Heck, we could talk about it for a full month and do some Q&As. But I think it's really important. Maybe we could talk more about this. We can even talk more about this in the future. Coach Jay, I think we have a meeting that's scheduled this week that maybe goes down the line of this topic. Not so much, hey, day trading for a living, but like maybe we go on a trip and we pay for that trip just from
through trading.
Yeah. So it's not.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I think.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, that's all I was going to say.
I think if we want to further this conversation, I think, and let me just read Nick's comment here. Forced as in no other income source make it work. Then it overtook my primary income pre-layoff. If I could go back, I would still have hoped to find another job in my old world. Full-time is a grind. Yeah, Nick, that's 100% it. I think at one point I was forced to rely on trading income for a couple of months, right, in between jobs. And that's what, to me, when I realized that I couldn't do it. I lost a lot of money in that short period of time in between jobs. And I think it's because I felt the pressure right away. And that's when I realized that wasn't for me. Now, again, this is going to be different for every person. So I really think you need to sit down and kind of figure it out for yourself, what that means. And if you have another full-time job, I think what a lot of times traders try to do when it's like, you might trade for 2 months and say, oh yeah, I want to trade full time. I want to quit my job to do this. You may not feel what that pressure is like. And somebody like Nick responded really well to it, right? We saw Nick on the show and he kind of just hit the ground running with it. And you can see, he says there was pressure on him as well. I felt that pressure. I think knowing what your monthly expenses are, right? Knowing how much you have in savings and things like that, it matters. What my monthly expenses are, I'm just never going to personally rely fully on it. But yeah, that pressure is insane, Nick. It is. And, I can wholeheartedly say I could not handle that type of pressure. It wasn't for me. It's way different now when you're just like, okay, I know, like you said, Dakota, I know there's money coming from a couple of other places to try to take care of things. And, it's different for every person.
Yeah, it's really different. So it's hard to put a blanket statement over it, correct? To where everyone's going to be unique in their own situation. Everyone's going to have their own expenses and income, responsibilities, kids, wife, single, living in college, living in a dorm room versus, hey, I'm near retirement. I mean, all walks of life. And not only that, but since Topstep's such an international company, we have traders from around the world. And if I asked anybody in the chat, say, where are you from? We're going to get a huge list of different countries. It's also about perspective too. And, trading for a living, day trading for a living might be much harder for me or you, Jay. Day trading for a living might be, I don't want to say less harder, but it would look different from someone, say, living in, I gave this example last night, Peru. It's like, if I'm able to make $100 a day in Peru, that's basically full time. That's maybe even better at full time, depending on where you're from, right? Like, man, this is a nice weekly wage. I'm making $100 per day on average now. Now, it's not where you're going to come in and you always have a green day. You have to understand it's an average. You're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have bad weeks. You're going to have bad months, even bad quarters. You see me. I had a bad, 5 months. And part of it is like understanding you're going to have ups and downs. It's not like a regular job where you exchange your time and you get money in return. You're exchanging your time and you still don't even know if you're going to get money in return. But $100 a day on average, that puts you in like the top percentile. I mean, maybe even like the top, 5% in some countries or even more. I know a lot of people from different countries. Shout out to my friend from Kathmandu, where like the daily wage was like $10. Now don't quote me on that, but like that's what I remember. And you tell me that how difficult it is to make $20 a day on average, just trade the NASDAQ. You think, oh, that's easy, right? It might be easy, but doing it consistently, day in, day out, that might be boring too. And so it's just understanding what your financial goals are. It's understanding this, it's understanding that, trading typically smaller. And I could even say above all else, it's just keeping your account alive. It's being able to trade for tomorrow. Because when you do start to get to the real trading where you're either putting money into your own account to open up your brokerage, you can't just call your brokerage and say, hey, I messed up. I need to reset my account. And they'll just you can't reset your personal brokerage. That's not how it works. When you lose the money, it's your money, it's gone. And so that's, I emphasize, keeping your account alive, trading small, trading within your means to where you're not blowing your account. And I see it day in, day out. I seen it today where, you can trade really well for a period of time. And sometimes you trade well, but what happens when you do go through a drawdown? Is your account blown? Or do you go through the drawdown, size down, grind it out, get back to where you were? And then, maybe if you have a year's worth of savings, you can build the account back up. Or it's like, hey, I'm feeling better. I'm going to send an extra X amount of dollars, build my account back up and start fresh. So there's so many different ways to approach it. And we still have 1 hour, Jay. So what do you want to talk about first, other than what we have just talked about? I don't know. This isn't structured. This is live chat. So
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have written out some questions in the chat. If you guys have questions, let me know. Let us know. Andrew's gonna, grab any questions that you guys have. Some people asked, in the chat, what did I do for outside income outside of trading? I've worked as an IT consultant for a long time, 10 years, 13 years. Whenever I graduated college, that was my full-time income. Then I learned trading on the side, did both at the same time. Left the company, couldn't find a job for a couple months, then relied on trading solely. But yeah, there's always going to be multiple streams. Do you two know your personality types? No idea. You know your personality type?
It changes, man.
It depends on the day.
It depends on
what
the
day is it?
Yeah, what day is it?
Legit,
I'll tell you
though.
my personality later. But tomorrow morning, we'll see what we're at today. But yeah, I think that's ultimately what it is. I mean, you can't. I would not recommend somebody just say, I want to day trade futures. I'm going to jump into it, quit your job, because there's so much pressure, like we just talked about. To me, the proper way is, cut out an hour a day, like maybe an hour, maybe hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, depending on what you can. The futures market, it's open 23 hours, Sunday night through Friday afternoon. You can trade the morning session, the New York session morning, depending on where you're at around the world. You could trade the London session, you could trade the Asian session, you could trade at any time. There's great traders, there's strategies, there's ways to take advantage of volatility. Fast markets, obviously, that's the most popular one. You see us on Topstep TV during the day show trading fast markets when the New York session opens. There's even Power Hour. There's tonight. You see I'm trading here. Jay's trading here. Baron trades here. There's others that do decent in the slow markets. And then there's the London Open, where we have Aaron trades. And then the Euro session in the middle of the London session is D. And so you need to make sure that trading fits your schedule. Don't force yourself to fit trading schedule. I don't think that's the right thing. If you have a job, if you have a part-time job or whatever it is, don't change your life so dramatically to fit trading. Let trading fit your life. I'm going to carve out 1 or 2 hours a day. It's going to be a lot less stressful. You're going to feel like you're not sacrificing as much, which is good. If you start to struggle, it's not going to affect your lifestyle. It's not going to affect much things that's going on into your life. Like, for example, right now it's 7 p.m. for me. It's 10 p.m. for you. So maybe it doesn't.
10 p.m. No, 9 p.m.
9 p.m. 9 p.m. for you. So
yeah.
This is the time I used to trade, and I would get a message from my friends. I'm like, hey, you want to go watch this movie? I'm like, I can't, and so sometimes it sucked. I'm like, this is when everyone's getting off of work. All my friends are getting off of work. They're done for the day. They're hanging out. They're going to a party. They're going to watch movies. They're doing golf. They're doing activities, and I'm stuck behind a freaking computer screen, and that was mentally hard for me. And I'm like, why am I doing this? And it's like, well, because I have to have a job, and I love trading so much that I'm willing to sacrifice some of those aspects, so that way maybe later down the future I can do what I want. I could travel where I want. I could only spend 2 hours a day and then have the rest of the day free. I don't know if you've seen that post, Jay, where after fast markets, I made $50. $50 is $50, and that pays for a single person, me, myself, and I, because I'm not married, and so that pays for dinner for a day or two, depending on how your budget is, and depending on where you're at, and where that might be a weekly wage for somebody. But
correct.
I finished that up. I took care of a few things. I went to the gym. I had lunch. I relaxed. I went sparring, and it frees up your life to where the sacrifice that I was able to do before, it paid off. But you got to understand, I didn't just jump both feet in and say I quit my job. I had to wait until I had at least 1 year's. I made sure of that. 1 year's salary before I started trading. Like that. That way, I don't care what happens in the next year. If I lose money, I'm fine. And then it will also give me some buffer where if I decide I don't want to do this, or I don't like it, or if I just can't do it, then I'll just find another job. And I was lucky enough that I was, out of high school and going into college to be able to do that, right? Compared to somebody who might not have the luxury to like, I could do whatever I want. I just finished college. I'm going to do this part-time job versus somebody who's maybe been in their job for like 10 years and like, I can't really afford to quit. And if I do quit, then, this is like, I can't go back type situation. So it's hard to put a blanket statement, to be honest, Jay, because it depends so much.
I think, man, there's so many ways this conversation could go. I'm just kind of writing some things down here and just kind of, just thinking about where day trading fits in the overall markets and things like that, right? Ideally we should be having retirement accounts or long-term investments or something else that you put the money in. We hear MP talk about it all the time. One thing I know that day trading is a retirement plan. At the end of the day, it's way too volatile to be that, in my opinion. But it presents an opportunity for you to make some quick money. I like to think about it like athletes, right? Athletes have, and we could probably definitely trade much longer than an athlete has a career, just because physically their bodies break down. But there's a window that you have to probably make the most you're going to make. We hear a lot of the older trading. I watch kind of everything in the trading space. Nick is on the Ninja Trader stream, and I've heard Crudelli talk about, hey, he's not the biggest trader ever. He's not as big as he once was, but he can sustain himself because he trades every day, small size, just taking little bits out of the market. I think when you're able to make that money, more importantly for traders that are doing it, if you can take some money out of the markets, have a plan for it. If you really want to make a living for it, whether that's, paying off some debts, right? Putting it into an investment that is going to bring you some money back that you don't have to actively work in all the time. Definitely have some type of plan for your money, because the other option, especially for day traders, when we think so short time frame, is to just put it back in the markets because I could make some more. And I don't think that's a great solution. The markets are like a black hole, right? The more money you put into it, at some point, it's going to want to take it back. It's going to try to take it back. So, take that money and do something else with it. That would be my advice. Again, I see you're in a trade. This conversation can go a bunch of different places.
No, just keep going. Keep going. I'll talk about this trade later. I just got one micro long gold from 33.57. I'm looking for that bounce we talked about. I'll talk about it in a moment. So keep going, man.
D-Man 192 had a question. How many people have you guys met that really take trading as their main source of income? Main source and sole source, D-Man, I think are two different things. Main source, I would say you see him on the show, Baron. Baron's one of them. Baron's main source of income is his trading right now. He's absolutely killing it. Dakota, your main source of income is your trading right now.
Correct. Yep.
And if we're saying main, it would have to be number one, right? Sole source is a different question. James Hansen just said it's my main source, right? Main source, sole source is a different question. Sole source is tough. It's a tough place to be in, and people do it. But
I'm trying to think of a right way, because it's not like I said, hard to do blanket answers here. But yes, there's a difference. For me, trading used to be my main source, or my sole source, my single source, the only thing I used to do, right? In college, I studied finance. Out of college, I'm like, okay, this is all I want to do. And this trading stocks and options, like I loved options, not the day trading aspect, it's stocks and options. And then I was like, I need to find something to do with the rest of my time, because I was trading, I think it was like 2 hours in the morning and then an hour at night before I went to bed. Options were only open to start the morning when the options market opened, New York session open, for about 2 hours, an hour before, hour after, and then the hour at night before I go to bed, just to see what the futures are doing. I didn't really replace any trades at night. It was just a review. And then I'm like, well, what am I going to do with the rest of my time? And then I've noticed that you asked me, how am I doing? And I told you it depends on the day. My emotions were so connected to my P&L. Like I had friends and family and people who they knew if I was up or down for the day, depending on my mood or my attitude. Like I would smile and say hi when I'm green, and I made some money for the day, and then it was just complete dick when I wasn't. So I definitely will say that was not only an issue to me. It wasn't an issue, right? Because it didn't affect me much from the outside looking in, but it affected everybody around me. When I was struggling, I was pissed off. I'm like, I could deal with this myself. I'm a man, right? When a man has issues, you just bottle it up inside. But then I was just letting all my frustration and anger out on all my personal relationships. And I didn't like it. I hated it because I was thinking the same thing.
It's not a good feeling.
Yeah, because I'm speaking from a man's perspective. I wanted to, I want to get married. I want to have a family. And in order for me to do that, I have to have that financial stability. But then I just I need to buy a house. I need to do this. Now, given I'm like 19, 20, 21 years old at the time. Right. And I'm thinking of this. I'm like, I need that financial stability and to buy a house and to have enough money and to pay off my debt in order for me to get a wife and then have kids. And then kids are expensive. A wife's expensive. And just having a family and a home is super expensive. But that all my money that I have is in this account. And if I lose it, I'm done for. And then just having that day-to-day fluctuation that comes with trading, and I was risking probably a little bit more in terms of a percentage basis than I am now because my account was much smaller than it was now. Not talking about the day trading, just trading in general. I was like, I have, 9 hours a day, 10 hours a day, other than the 3 hours a day that I'm putting in. And I wasn't really doing much with it. I was just stressing. I was like, I would wake up in the morning and I would just trade. And then when I wasn't, I was stressing out. I was thinking about trading. I was watching this markets. Maybe that led to a bad mistake here and there. I was watching news. How that news affected it. How this news affected it. I was trying to learn. And then I was like, I need to freaking do something with my life. I need to find a job. And I have a friend in Provo at the time, Provo, Utah, started a supply chain company. He's like, hey, we need someone in logistics. And I'm like, this sounds fun.
Let me try that.
I'm going to try this. As soon as I'm done trading, 9 a.m., I'm going to go and help build a company in international supply chain. And in order for me to do so, I need to learn what the hell is international supply chain is. So I went through, I got my education, and I worked a full-time job in international supply chain. I was the director of logistics, and I had built a team. I had a team in China and Vietnam and Mexico, and that's what I did. Still spent the hour and a half to 2 hours in the morning, still spent the 1 hour in the afternoon, and I was making more money day trading or trading stocks and options.
It's crazy how that works, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm like, wow, 3 hours. Some days I'd make, $6,000-$7,000 plus or minus, and it started to grow to where my trading, I would have $50,000 in a day, plus or minus $50,000 in a day, plus or minus, because you can't get rid of those losses. I showed everybody earlier this year, $250,000.
Right.
I had a $250,000 loss in a day this year. I also had a little bit, $250,000 gain. It's a plus or minus game. And then I'm spending 8 hours a day working a 9 to 5 job, so that it's like no matter what happens, my bills are paid.
Yep, 100%. 100%.
I noticed that my relationship, my mental health was so much better because I started to care less about the results of my trading, not trading carefree, but caring less and letting that affect me a lot less, knowing that all my bills was paid no matter what. And then any money I made in my account, I just kept it in there. I was like, screw it, I'm just keep it in there, grow the account. And that's how I started to grow it faster. It's helped. And it's funny how things snowball, right? Where it's like money makes money. And having those different sources of income led to my trading becoming better and better because it was stress-free at that time.
What's funny, Dakota? Even if you didn't find that other source of income, right? What do a lot of traders say they want to trade full-time for? Right? What's the number one answer people usually give? Why do you want to trade full-time?
Freedom.
How many people do you know actually plan out what that freedom looks like in their life before they get to the point of being a full-time trader? It's a scary thing to do.
I didn't.
It's
What
a
is
scary
freedom,
thing to do. Like, really think about it. You think about time freedom, and if you're somebody who has kids and things like that, maybe some of your time is already accounted for. But really think about that. Dakota's talking about an hour a day, maybe 3 hours a day. And really, in my own trading, if I'm trading really well, I'm maybe 3 to 4 hours a day. What do you do with the other 20 hours of your life, and can you actually figure out what that freedom looks like for you, if you ever were to achieve it, right? And I think planning that out is extremely important. People say traveling and things like that. You can't travel all the time, right?
You can, but I don't
You
know.
can. I can't. Hey, I'll speak for myself. I can't travel all the time. Sometimes I just want to be home and lay on my couch and not do anything, right? But there are regular life things that you need to plan out as well. Where I've spoken to traders doing one-on-ones here that I'm not going to use any names, but I used to coach one-on-ones when we were doing that. Somebody who was on the top of the leaderboard for a while, make a ton of money. And in a short period of time, he only really traded the open, right? 45 minutes to an hour, and was making, 5-figure days consistently. But then he didn't know what else to do with his time. So what do? I go find another job, or, hey, I just made 10 grand doing this one thing. I'm just going to go back. Right? I'm just going to go back and do it again because I spent 45 minutes doing it. Another 45 minutes should mean that I make another 10 grand. Doesn't work like that. Like you just said, Dakota, the less amount of time, the less you kind of care a little bit, the more you'll probably make. But plan out what that freedom looks like, because when you kind of are done for the day and you're just like, all right, now what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, exactly. I'm right there, man. And to be honest, I have stepped away from the supply chain world, and I'm focusing on this. You asked me, oh, well, you're making so much money. Why are you here? This is now what I choose to do with my time. I've enjoyed the hell out of it, man.
100%.
Working with you and working with the Topstep team has been some of the funnest thing. It's like, I could travel every single day. I could travel around the world. I could do this. I could do that. But you missed camaraderie. You missed the relationships, the someone that I could relate with, where I could sit here and have conversations with you. How many hours do me and you probably spend after slow markets ends, and we just sit there talking behind?
Right.
Like,
I mean, we were talking we were texting before this. We'll probably talk after this. Yeah, it's a lot, and I think it's just kind of talking about what we're building here and enjoying doing it. Yeah, man, it's a lot of fun. I'm loving some of the answers that I'm seeing in the chat for how people kind of are building out their or planning out their freedom, volunteering at church, gym, golf, spending time with the family, with your kids. There's a ton of ways.
All of the above.
All of the above.
All of the above. And
how's that trade looking?
We're break even. We're break even for right now. But yeah, I don't even know how much time me and you've spent talking outside that. Me, you, Eddie, Hoag, MP, always going back and forth, whether it's about sports. I mean, hell, we watched the Lakers game after true story. We ended
trying to go to that boxing match.
Yeah. We ended the slow market session. We FaceTimed each other through Discord, or Discord called, shared the basketball game, and we watched it together. And we just talked and hung out. The trader meetup, when we got together at the trader house and met everybody, that was fun. And to be able to do that with my time and be able to help the traders, because I get these messages almost daily. It's like, hey, thank you. You've helped me. You did this. I'm like, this is better than having a job, or what else am I going to be doing with my time? To get that. And it's second to none, man. It's hard to replace being able to do what you love, and also get to sit here and stay on top of what the markets are doing. It's like, I'm doing this anyway. Correct. And I'm going to be honest with everybody. I'm not the best day trader in futures. I'm always learning. I have my ups and downs. This is a challenge that I took on when I joined Topstep, and I'm going to continue to try and get better, because I come from a stocks and options background, kind of in this with everybody else when it comes to the day trading aspect. And if you asked me today, would I quit my job And can I day trade full time? My answer is no. I would not quit my job right now if I had a full time job, and I could not. I would not be able to say I could day trade full time right now because
Yeah.
I started 2 years ago with you here at Topstep.
Right. Right.
So not comfortable yet, but it's the same process. It's the same idea. It's staying on top of these markets. It's understanding. I had to go through and learn a new platform. I've loved Topstep X. I'm excited for what's to come. MP was in here the other night dropping gems, and yeah, I could see myself being able to say yes to that, and just like I just gonna if I stop trading stocks and options and I just put all that into like an old retirement thing, not paying attention to it, I could probably day trade for a living. Maybe in 6 months. Maybe in 6 months. I give myself 6 months.
Good stuff. Just reading through some of the chat here. Do you guys have a few setups you look for? Is it discretionary? Definitely setups. We talk about it all the time. If you recap fast markets this morning, the trade I took was based on a volume setup that I try to find every day. I think the discretion is more so in trade management than anything, but it's based on an initial setup.
Got it.
I'm trying to see if I see anything in the markets right now. You're still long gold, right?
Yeah, I'm still long gold. Here's a question for you, maybe for both of us, but you answer it first if you don't mind. Although you're both great traders, do you have mentors?
I did for a while. The only classes that I ever paid for, I think I've mentioned this before, a guy ran a group called Ahead of the Charts. His name was Rich Lepis. Never met Rich in person, but I was in his group for about 4 years. He's unfortunately no longer with us, but great trader. Traded stocks, did not trade futures, but all of the kind of volume analysis stuff I learned from him.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
And is it some of that stuff you're still putting into application?
100%. 100%.
Okay.
100%. I had to make it my own, and at the end of the day, I think whoever you learn from, you can never be that person. So you kind of have to make it your own thing. We see traders all the time say, hey, we took some information from you and I got to a payout. What I try to remind traders all the time is if you've learned something from me, if you learned something from Dakota, if you learned something from whoever, if you're making money from it at the end of the day, there's credit that you need to give to that person, but you need to give yourself the credit of actually implementing that information and putting money behind it, right? Become your own trader at the end of the day.
Exactly. Big shout out to you, Tropical Brewing. Says, I just made my first successful trade on Topstep crude oil. Great work. I love that, man. We just traders starting out, placing a trade for the first time. I wish sometimes I could go back to when I first started learning, and that feeling. It's like it's hard to replace. Now I still get it whenever I place a trade and I place it in front of a big audience and it works out well. But it's hard to get back to like, man, do you remember when you learned what a candlestick is, or these like what's a candlestick chart? What's the bid? What's the ask? We have traders joining every week, every day that are learning those for the first time. So I love that. I don't mind repeating a lot of this information. We have traders here, like I said, this might be day 1 for you. This might be year number 5 for you. But doing this is just irreplaceable, man.
Yep. Yeah, it is. I would say also, because this conversation can get kind of heavy. And anytime that happens, and shout out to Andre, because he's always, I don't know if Andre's in the chat right now, but he always sends a message to me in Slack sometimes, and sometimes things get a little heavy. He's just like, yo, this is the best job in the world. Right? So like we should be having fun with doing this at the same time. It's an opportunity, and I saw some traders in the chat like saying, hey, trading is not good. There's no job that's going to pay you like trading. When it goes really well, that is true. The amount of money that you have the potential to make in a short amount of time, I don't know many other places, right? I don't know many other places. And yes, there is risk that comes with that. But when things are going well, you do have to enjoy the process, right? And have fun with it. I think when you take it a little too serious, you put so much weight on it. I was whistling the Beatles song before I took that long today.
What song was it? Like Sunset or
here comes the sun. Here comes
yeah?
it.
Here comes the,
What's really funny is, so I mentioned that on the stream. I don't know if anyone who was paying attention or how closely you were paying attention.
yeah.
Before I took that trade, about 3 or 4 minutes before I took that trade, I started whistling the song, and it just kind of cleared up. I don't know, the like clouds went away, and it was just like, no, this is a very clear long trade. So I took it, right, and that's just having fun with the process, right? Where
Yeah.
somebody mentioned Steph Curry. You see Steph Curry shoot a three, and he just turns around before the ball goes in. That was one of those, right? You do have to have a little bit of that confidence. What's up, Danielle? I love that song too.
Love that song.
Danielle, I sent you a message on Slack.
Okay. For me, to answer that question is, yeah, my mentor growing up was Tom Sajnoff, the man over there at Tasty Trade. I remember in high school, I would watch. This is their very first YouTube videos. I was watching those. I was watching them live. I was watching everything. I was learning options, the Greeks. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. And yeah, everything that I learned from there and going from stocks and options to now this day trading futures, it's a lot of the same things apply. And that's why I had that confidence. And it was nice because I started trading here at Topstep January last year, and have been on the leaderboard ever since. And I'm like, it's kind of surreal to think about that. And these same concepts is what I was learning like in high school. And the fact that a lot of it still works out pretty well today is still kind of mind-blowing. And it points out how simple trading can be and just how complex and self-sabotage we can be as traders. And so new traders who join us at Topstep every single day, I always say the same thing. Just keep it simple, KISS, keep it super simple to where the less actions you have, the easier it is for you. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't, what do you call it? Jimmy, the trade. Don't,
Lenny
at it. Yeah, and all that is where you place a trade, you follow your process, and then between when you place the trade and you close it, you do something that you shouldn't have done in the last place or in the first place. And it happens to a lot of us. That's why I like going to bed after I place a trade during slow markets on a higher time frame, because I can't Lenny a trade if I'm sleeping. I can't get emotional and move my stop loss and take profit. It's going to play out. And little details like that.
100%.
He's a brilliant person. Yeah, Tom's awesome. I want to see him in person. I have not met him in person. We were in Chicago, and we seen the Tasty Trade studio.
We did see the Tasty studio. Yeah. Maybe next time we can go knock on the door.
Yeah. I don't know if he'll. Yeah. I don't know if they had the YouTube chat at the time. I don't remember there was a YouTube chat or questions.
Dakota, don't meet your heroes. Don't meet your heroes.
I know.
I'm sure Sosnov is a great guy.
Yeah, he seems like a great guy. I definitely.
Tom, if you're watching.
Yeah, we're gonna do a trader meetup. Tom, can we invite Tom, Danielle?
Yeah, let's do
it. Why not? Someone says don't meet Aaron. What happened to Dave? Let's go. I need to. Yeah. I don't know. By the way, while we're doing this, don't forget. Let's do #slow markets. Andrew made me double check yesterday where he's like, "Hey, don't read Richard's chats out loud. We got it. Read them first before you say anything." But there it is. There's this. Do #slow markets. We'll see anything. I'm corny as shit. Dante says. Hey.
That's why we love him, Dante. That's why we love him. Dante's a great name. It's my brother's name. Sometimes it's all right to be corny.
Hey, whatever.
Did you show it? There you go. All right. How's this trade looking? Just kind of chopping around your entry.
We're at the point of chill, man. The point of chill. This is going to be a slow markets trade, I think. This is one where I'll leave for a long time. You see, this is an hourly chart. I'll let this trade cook overnight. I might tighten it up a little bit more maybe something like this. What's your thoughts? Gold hasn't even moved.
Yeah, it really has not gone on anywhere. I think this is a perfect day to have this conversation. Maybe that's the plan for slow markets going forward. If we have a big data coming out, CPI, PPI, plan a conversation for the day, because I don't see much that I want to put risk behind right now. Will R just added to gold.
And it's just one micro. I might, I'll add if we do
small size.
Yep. Yep, exactly. Let's get back to it. Let's get some more questions. Trading for a living. Can you make a living day trading? Have you ever talked to Hoag or Eddie or anybody there from that aspect? Because I know they come from the pits and transitioning to what we're doing now. From what they've seen, I'm pretty sure they'll kind of echo what we've said tonight. Like, you know,
100%.
Having multiple sources of income is probably the best. It doesn't matter where it comes from. Like, maybe you have a $50,000 account, you make some money, you pull it out, and then instead of just, you know, spending it, instead of buying a new car, new Lamborghini, you put that towards like longer term stocks with dividends, or invest in some income driven. I know a guy here that I live pretty close to, he does stocks and options, and a lot of the profit he takes out of that, he takes a percentage of his profit. Say he makes $100,000, he'll take, I think he said like close to 80%. He'll take 80,000 and he puts it straight into real estate, and then he just lives off the other 20,000 instead of just going out and buying all these different types of cars or materialistic stuffs. He's been real estate, and then that brings in income, and then that frees up a lot more stress, and the income he uses from that real estate, then he's able to use that money to live off of, and he's done that for a long time. He's much older than I am, though. I've never gotten into real estate.
We hear MP say it, right? That the condo that we stayed in, he made some money trading and bought that condo, and that place pays him 20 years later.
That's nice.
Smart decision. And you don't got to, he doesn't have to make another trade, but the results of his trading at the time when things were going really well continue to pay him, and will, as long as he holds that space. So it's a smart move. Thomas Swinton says, I'm short. Take out yesterday's low, then look for a reversal. Don't want to fade the GOAT. Thomas, you're the GOAT. You're the GOAT of your own trading strategy. Trade what you see. Dakota could be wrong on this trade, and he's risking probably the least I've seen Dakota risk on a trade, maybe ever.
Hey, process over profits, man.
Over profits.
If I lose this trade, it's gonna mean just as much to me as if I lost $5,000, even though it's $100. A winning trade versus a losing trade.
Yep.
It counts, right? The W or L's. It doesn't matter what happens in the middle of the game, or how bad it was, or how good it was. It was a W or an L. Right?
Process over profits.
Yeah, exactly. We are still staying near these highs, but there's a lot of momentum that we've sold off quite a bit. So I can. Yeah, I mean, I have my stop loss there for a reason. If we break through and hit my stop loss, I could see it going down further. It's a go-to-bed trade. So that's one thing a lot of traders don't realize is we could both be right. I'm probably going to be in this trade for, who knows, maybe 8 hours. But if you're trading it for 3 hours or an hour or 15 minutes or to scalp, then it's not, I hate the word fade. I do. I know we joke around with it, but when you fade someone, to me, it needs to be a true fade where your stop loss is exactly my take profit and vice versa. The last thing I just bugs the hell out of me, dude, when someone's like, I just faded you and made money. Like, dude, I'm going to be in this trade for another 8 hours.
Right.
Like, shut the fuck up. I'm like, oh, God. That pisses me off so much.
Yeah, really. And again, you're not just fading me, right? You're fading whoever is, if you're a seller, you're fading whoever buys the market. So you faded someone, and someone's fading you at all times. I think it's just like a little bit of a ego boost, confidence boost thing. It's just like, I faded him. But it's like,
Sorry, I don't cuss. I don't cuss very often.
That was a long-winded
that one got to me. That one gets me. Not against any individual. It's just the idea in general.
You see what happens when you get Dakota talking, chat? This is the real Dakota. This is the Dakota I met in Chicago.
Wait. This is Dakota you met.
We got to remember
the Trader House edits come out.
We gotta mean it, and we gotta remember it's a family show. But
I know.
The kids should be sleeping at this point, depending on where you are in the world. So
refocus.
Right, and if their parents are traders, that's not the first time they heard that word.
Oh man. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, Chewbacca says, "What child is watching this?" So it's funny. There are actually a couple of traders in the chat that said, they watch with their kids, which I think is dope. Just teaching your kids about just financial markets in general. However you want to do it. Maybe you want to get your kids into day trading. Maybe they're interested in it. They see what you do every day. Some people are probably watching with their kids. If you're watching with your kids, let us know. Put it in the chat.
Yeah, I think that's the first time I don't really curse very very often, but
yeah,
sometimes hey, we're traders, man. I mean, it's trading. Sometimes you just let one go, but that's was one thing I noticed about the trader meetup, Jay, was there's a lot of traders paying attention and watching that don't even chat, and they hang out, they watch it with their family, they watch it while they're eating dinner, they watch it, they just have it on. Which is nice.
Yeah, for sure. As Biggs, I watch with my 10 and 3-year-old. Nice.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't have a beep button. I don't have a. Maybe I get a beep button somehow.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. That might be better. I
love that. Rich in Bed-Stuy says his 4-year-old daughter drops in to watch At the Buzzer every day to say hi to Coach Jay and Coach Paul. I love that. We're building community here. That's dope. It's good to hear. Yeah, good to hear. Kids might make great traders, man. Hey, you buy it when it's going up, you sell it when it's buy it on green, sell it on red. Just tell the kids that and see how they do. Again, we can't. They're not young enough to. They're not old enough to trade Topstep accounts, but you can put them in a practice account. See how they do.
Sounds like a advertisement to someone selling an indicator.
That is not financial advice.
That
is not financial advice.
On red.
Right.
For $19.99, use this indicator. This gold is just going. It's going slow, but it's going in the right direction. We keep ticking to session highs, and yeah, I mean I'm up $15. So paid for breakfast, lunch, and dinner this morning. I could pay for dinner tonight, and until there's better opportunities, like I'm perfectly fine following these processes.
Nice. We got a question here from Katie. It says, "What's your most expensive purchase?" Katie, I answered your question. It wasn't really a purchase. It's kind of boring. I paid off a school loan, paid off a student loan. I don't buy a lot of stuff. I'll buy clothes every once in a while. But yeah, I like buying stuff for other people.
That's how I am. Yeah. Shout out to Eddie. Hopefully he's doing well. That was one of my more expensive purchases this year. Was that card, that football card? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, made me jealous though. It's like sometimes I buy things for people. I'm like, man, I wish I had that.
Damn, I should have bought that for myself. Yeah, every once. I mean, I'll send myself on a trip. I'll buy a trip, pay for travel and things like that. But I don't know.
Maybe clothes. I think clothes would be where I spoil myself the most on sometimes is that, and I have like 6 pairs of boxing gloves, and I don't know why.
There you go.
I bought like 14 ounce, 16 ounce, 18 ounce, different styles, So I like that, which is weird. And then just little things. And it's not expensive. It's like, hey, it's $100. It's $100 pair of boxing gloves. new tires for my car. What else? I got you a gift.
Oh yeah, for sure. Remind me when your birthday is again. It's October.
Somewhere around there. Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
You just
I'll ask Danielle. She knows.
no. Maybe some shoes. Yeah. No, I mean nothing
Yeah.
over like a $300 price tag. $500.
Yeah.
My expense.
Bought myself
golf clubs.
Bought myself
there
a
you
suit.
go.
There you go. Golf clubs. Nice.
Yeah. If it's a purchase, I'll show it on air as a tax write-off. Danielle said, sure does. What can I show on air for a tax write-off, chat? I need what I need to get, Jay. I'm gonna fly down to Florida once Barron's settled in. I'm buying that dude a new keyboard.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'm gonna just show up, buy him a brand new keyboard, and I'm gonna take his current keyboard, and that thing's going in the water. That's just it's gone. It's gone.
Yep. Yeah. I look like Russell Westbrook. I haven't heard that one in a while. Damn.
You used to get that.
Used to get it all the time.
Dakota, keep the beard. I don't like. I have a hard time. JC trades. Yeah. I need some Topstep swag. We need some swag here. Some of those sayings for slow markets.
Yep. Yeah, Lenny, here we go again. Yeah, I'll never get away from it.
You're the better looking version then.
I appreciate that, man.
For whatever it's worth.
I appreciate that.
All right, let's see if there's any hashtag slow. It's the slow markets tonight. Let's see. What do we got here? Let's see. Anything else? Let's go through back of a slow markets logo. Nothing, man. Nothing. Nice, chill. Richard Harris. You remember that? It wasn't okay. Not 5 pair. Okay. What? I love to overpack when I can. I always over prepare. I am a firm believer to have and not need, rather than need and not have. I true. Like ask Jay. I showed up with two suitcases, two luggages. You could ask. You know
This
what?
guy.
So did you, Baron, or not? Jay, but Baron.
I did show up with 2 suits. Yeah,
Baron showed up with like a shirt and pair of shoes.
Hey man, travel light.
Yeah, travel light.
You never know where you got to move around.
For sure. I'm all for light travel if it calls for it, but I like to be over prepared. Maybe, yeah. If you can, you can. Right?
Oh, chat saying NQ just pumped. We did. What was that? Nice little 20-point pop there in the NASDAQ.
We just bounced off 2,300.
Yep.
That's the move in NASDAQ, right?
Yeah. What was that?
Someone says NVIDIA.
Japan 30-year yield reaches new peak since debut in 1999.
Okay. NVIDIA predicts the approval to sell H20 GPP to China again.
That would do it.
Yeah. That would do it. NVIDIA news. I mean, it's 20 points. It's a decent move. That's a viable pullback that we was talking about on NASDAQ. We sold off back down to 23,000 evens. And, yeah. NVIDIA license will be granted in the U.S. So NVIDIA news. Yeah. Those H20 GPU units. Positive sign.
We'll do it.
Positive sign. I'm sure we're going to hear that on the earnings call. When is NVIDIA earnings?
It's a good question. It's usually towards the end of earnings season. I think in August, if I had to guess. End of August.
Is that what they're saying? Is end of August? They don't have any.
I'm completely guessing right now. I'm gonna look it up.
Okay. I'm like, we just finished Q2. We'll see. Chat will sometimes, yeah, August 27th. No, that's the second quarter. Yeah, NVIDIA is expected to announce, yeah, August 27th.
Yep. Yeah. A lot of bank earnings tomorrow.
Correct. Yeah, this week is going to be big for the banks. Because, I mean, it's starting this week. So it's going to be a couple. We still have some time. Like I was saying earlier, that as we start to get these earnings and earnings call, we have inflation data tomorrow. This will start to give us a peek behind the curtain of how the tariffs are affecting the different companies in these markets. And I mean, I'm watching it. Nasdaq's continuing to pump though. 3035.
Yeah, let's see here. We got a trade here. Do we have a trade here? Don't want to chase anything, but
We could be pumping, dude. This was the buy the dip that pullback down to 23,000. Instead of buying in Nasdaq, I decided to buy gold.
oh, another nice pump there.
Okay. Okay. Oh, chat always gets me. Chat always gets me. Let's see.
All right, so how would I trade this, right? We saw a random spike of volume. Maybe you could just jump in and get in right away. What I'm looking at right now is, wow, this thing is just going. Are we about to see all-time highs?
Ooh, tonight? Yeah. I mean, my opinion is on how to trade this is you just don't. You wait. You wait. That's my only opinion is you just wait. I feel like it'd be FOMO right now.
23,112 is the all-time high. We're about 50. Is that the right math? 50 points off of that right now. And we just saw the Nasdaq spike 50 points in 6 minutes. Yeah, you're right, Dakota. You kind of got to wait. What I'm looking for right now is any kind of pullback to maybe get in and buy. I'd take it with micros, if anything. Or if this volume just kind of dies out and we fade it. But
it's not dying, man. We're 70s.
This is not 80s, dying at all.
80s.
What happened? The news was NVIDIA had got the approval to sell their, or predicts they will be able to sell their, what was it? Let me quote this correctly.
All right, let's see if we can get a pullback.
NVIDIA predicts the approval to sell H20 GPU to China again, right? So there was that, I think we heard it a couple months ago that NVIDIA was banned from selling to China, but that might no longer be the case. And if that is the case, that is a huge market. I'm in. You in the Nasdaq?
Yeah, I'm going to try and do a couple of small scalps.
Micros?
Alongside. Yeah, one micro. Get a few small scalps to the long side here. Not looking for anything crazy. See if we could break through those 80s. There's a nice little move. Let's get going. I could see that big round 23,100 coming into play. Got in. Nice. Let's pump it. Oh, it's on ticks. Okay. I was like, dang, 35 points. But that 10 points right there. 10 points. I'll take that 10 points. Give me that 10 points here. Okay, 10 points. Little 10-point banger. Now we broke through those night.
We're about to go see all-time highs.
And 90s.
20 points off. Nice trade.
90s. There you go.
Storm, Storm, right? That was hilarious.
I waited. We got that pullback. Okay, we got a 10-point pullback. And
I took a back seat. I'm like, yeah, maybe Dakota's right. Maybe we just wait. He's like, all right, I'm in.
That's all I was waiting for.
Wait for it. I'm in. All right. 5 points off the all-time high there. 23,106, getting a little bit of a pullback here.
Bryce says, yo, as much as I love Top Step, why is Dakota still trading micros? I've been trading micros. I've struggled, and then since I've been struggling, I've sized down. That's it. And especially when like this. Like, look at this. I'm going to wait for better setups to build a position. Every trade does not have to be a oversized mini.
Mixed Sound says, why did I call that spike random? I think it was perfectly placed in my style. Look at what was happening before that candle. So price-wise, was it the right trade? We were talking about, the market kind of hanging out at 23,000s. Before that headline, did anyone expect us to be testing all-time highs tonight? Probably not, right? That's why I called it random, right? That headline came out, and that headline moved the markets. Go ahead, Dakota.
I did, man. Rewind. Beginning of class. Not right
I'm
there.
saying in this time frame.
No, yeah,
right?
no.
Did you expect that to happen while we were just talking? No, right? That's
not in 5 minutes. It's like
correct.
5 minutes in the middle of slow markets. No, not with the way we were doing.
Right. Let's see. We go take out this all-time high now.
By tomorrow, yes.
Yeah.
Not in 15 minutes. Buy the rumor, sell the news. I don't know. Tomorrow, what price did you say? All-time highs 111.
112.
112.
112. Oh, sorry, 111 quarter. 111 quarter.
Okay, 111 quarter. What headline was it? NVIDIA headline. You know what I love, Jay?
What's that?
Huge benefit for watching Topstep TV during the day show or even tonight during slow markets is, you ever wonder what's happening in the market? You just tune in here.
Yeah, you get it quick.
Yeah, you ever wonder what's happening in the market? You get it here.
23,106 is the high. We're 5 points off the all-time highs here in the NASDAQ. In the S&P, we're a little bit further, but this is NVIDIA news, so I'm not surprised to see the NASDAQ moving first. I mean, hey, if you knew that long was coming, I hope you're in it, because this is just going to run. 23,112. Sorry, 23,112 is the high in the futures. I was on the micros. High of the day, 108.75 here.
We're pushing still. There's the break.
And new all-time highs.
New all-time highs. Where's the buzzer? You know what I could do.
Pew, 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 pew. There we go. There we go. Anybody catch that move? Anybody catch that move?
Let's see if I could do it.
Save hot.
Oh, that's not it. No, I got to do an air. I need to get this thing air horns. Look, there you go. 120s. 120s.
Wow, just cooking.
Oh.
Just cooking. Well, you caught a piece of it, Dakota.
Yeah, 10 points.
Are you still in?
Yeah. Here we go. All-time highs. Let's see. Is that?
Are you playing a sound? I couldn't hear it. Maybe chat could.
The air horn? No, that's a horrible air horn.
Sounds like an ice cream truck.
That's like ice cream truck. That's not. I miss it. Yeah, where's Eddie's air horn? That's not the right air horn.
What the hell is that?
Let's go find another air horn. I'll find another one. There we go. Yeah, we could do that air horn. That's a lot better. That was a better one.
Mandy said it. Save it for Eddie.
I'm trying.
Eddie,
okay?
we miss you. Eddie, we miss you, man.
You can't beat the original. Yeah, I agree.
Man, we're still cooking here. 130 is the high. Man, buying below that range made sense. And I kind of went with the idea that we probably weren't going to see movement today, but the market can change that.
If the market
new highs in the NASDAQ, 23,146 half. What is the S&P doing right now? S&P is rallying also. A couple points off the all-time high. We're about 5 points off the all-time high in the S&P.
It's going, man. NASDAQ just going. Look at this. Look at this, chat. Man, the meme coin's memeing.
If you missed the news, NVIDIA predicts that it will be able to sell its, let's get this right, H20 GPU to China. That was the news.
We going. We keep going. Look at this thing just go, Jay.
I mean, is there a spot to buy it is the question.
I mean, I
It
found
was 100 points ago, 150 points ago.
I just didn't hold it. Just didn't hold it.
Yeah. What I was looking for, and again, I think, traders, there's a couple of ways you can do this. Maybe you just jump right in and take it. I was looking for a pullback to VWAP that we kind of got, and we really didn't. It is what it is. Have something you can do repeatedly. A move like this, sometimes traders will look at it, Dakota, and be like, oh, man, I missed that. I'm supposed to catch that. I don't know if there's a way for you to predict that something like this is going to happen unless your dad's last name is NVIDIA. So you can't do this consistently, but if you catch a piece of it, nice trade.
Correct. Being able to do this consistently is different. Much different. Wow. Insane. Hashtag slow markets this.
Yeah, right. Maybe we were running out of stuff to talk about, and somebody's like, all right, we'll give you something to talk about.
Get that in. Come on. NASDAQ all-time highs. We're just going. We just keep on going. Look at that chart.
Time highs. NVIDIA up. NVIDIA. Basically NVIDIA, right? NVIDIA is the NASDAQ. NASDAQ up 168 points in the last 15 minutes.
Who's long?
Okay, here we go. A little bit of a pullback here.
Yeah. Tag me in, and we'll do the hashtag slow markets there. There it is. We'll see. Let's see who's long, who's trading that up. Let's see who's trading it up. Let's see.
The news again was NVIDIA predicting the approval to sell H20 GPUs in China. Predicting. So that doesn't mean a confirmed approval, but predicting.
Correct. And that's all that
the other side of that news is,
that's all that we need.
So Coach Paul and I were talking during At the Buzzer, and we say, it looks like we can go take out all-time highs, but the market needs a catalyst. Could we think of a catalyst? Potentially CPI. The market is looking for any good news right now. We predict that we'll be able to sell to China. What happens when that prediction is false?
We still go up.
We still go up.
We go up, just not as much. I don't know.
Just not as much, right? Yeah.
We just go up. It doesn't matter what the news is. All-time highs, man. Wow.
All right, that might have been a buyable pullback right there into the 150s.
155, 156.
So the question is this sustainable? Is this move sustainable, right?
Maybe. I mean, let's see.
So there was a ton of volume that traded at 23,169, 260 contracts traded there, and we're seeing some selling. So
0.76%. So, I mean, can tomorrow be? We still have data tomorrow. Let's put this in perspective too. Okay. We got the NVIDIA news. It's not really news. It's just kind of like a rumor headline rumor, and we're up 0.8%. We still have inflation data tomorrow, and we still have a lot of Fed speakers. And then not only that, this is what has me interested. Look what's on the dock for tomorrow night.
Yep.
NVIDIA CEO speaks. NVIDIA CEO
With
China meetings. So can we put 2 and 2 together?
That's like 25,000.
Yeah. Can we put 2 and 2 together and say we predict we're going to be able to do this, and then tomorrow there happens to be those events, China meeting and the NVIDIA CEO? Like, I don't think this is tin hat, right? Like, is
No.
this buy the rumor, sell the news? The fact that NVIDIA is meeting tomorrow night, so possible, right?
Yeah. Tess wants to know, NVIDIA moves the NASDAQ. Why is S&P moving so much? NVIDIA is 7% of the S&P.
Correct. Yep, that's what NVIDIA is. QQQ, S&P, that's what. Ultimately, there's stocks, the NASDAQ futures, there's stocks that make up like QQQ and the NASDAQ. So ultimately, it's not like we're trading an individual stock. It's a group, right? It's a basket of stocks that make this up, make this one instrument up. So sometimes you got to remind yourself that, to be honest. And if you're new to trading, maybe you didn't know that. The NASDAQ is the NASDAQ 100. It's 100 stocks, and it's different percentages. And if one stock has a very, very positive news and it goes up like 5%, then that will help put pressure onto the NASDAQ itself being positive. And we're seeing that here. NVIDIA, very positive headline, even though it's just a rumor. NASDAQ's pumped almost 1% off of it.
Yep. And whatever you do in this, manage your risk, right? Buying where Dakota bought, somebody might say he's chasing the move. And the market went up 70 points from that point. So whatever you do, manage your risk. There is no right or wrong.
The only wrong is bad risk management. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. If you risk your whole account on that one trade, yeah, Dakota, probably doesn't make sense. But if I take a long right here, who's to say it's wrong? We have no idea where this market's going to go. Right.
Correct.
Again. So manage your risk.
Here's some hashtag slow markets. Look at this, Jay. Hashtag slow markets, Topstep, in an XFA, realized P&L 1,200, unrealized P&L 1,000. They caught a piece of that move. They caught a piece of that move. Great trade. Amazing stuff. Freaking love it.
And Jesse, that comment was for you. You said there's no objective way or strategy to trade this, so this is gambling. I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree with that.
I disagree with that one too.
I'm going to disagree with that. There is absolutely a strategy to trade this, and there are traders that wait for opportunities just like this and don't do anything until the market does this.
Correct. And
so to say that there's no strategy, it's just not true.
Here's another one. Shane, scalping it up on a 15-second chart, just scalping it up. So, yeah, when we see moves like this is usually when you see some traders start to show some good trading. Some good trading. There's a lot of questions. Where does this volatility come from? What's going on? Why is this happening? Why? What is this? So let's answer this now. A lot of people are asking that question. Let's do this. So we said it here now. Maybe that's why people should just tune in to slow markets. Tune in to Topstep TV. Then you don't have to ask that question, right? You don't need to know. You don't need to know.
Yep.
It's also not for everybody, right? If you see a news event like this, sometimes if it's not the way your strategy is, then you just close it down. You don't need to trade it.
Yep.
I should stop calling it slow market. It was until it's not. Let's see. Was it? A lot of Chinese data coming out. Yeah, crazy. And we're at the end of class, man. So any last words? And before we go, here. That one's a lot better.
I can't hear it, so I'm going to take your word for it.
That one's a lot better, Jay. Yeah. You can't hear that? Chat, can you hear it?
I see some hearts in the chat, so I think they like it.
Okay. Here, I'll send it to you, Jay. This is what it was. It's a lot better. That's the one. Yep, heard it. All right, there we go. Didn't even have to do music tonight. Did not even have to do music. So
Okay, that was a good one. Yeah, that was a good one.
yeah, that's a lot better one. A little late now. Now that we're selling off. But
Dakota's air horn called the high.
I called the high. I called that wasn't even an air horn. That was a sad excuse of an air horn. They called the high, dropped his market, ended that pump. So, any last words? Now, I know we could continue talking about can you make a living day trading futures. I think we could continue to talk about it. You're on again with me on Wednesday. Maybe we could touch base. Maybe we get some more questions. I think it could be a common theme of this year, this month. Yeah. Any last words, Jay?
Yes, we're gonna extend this a little bit for Jesse in the chat.
Okay.
You said I can't say that it's not gambling and not give you a strategy. Here's a strategy. Dakota, can you please pull up my chart? And you can do this on any news event. This is why I pay attention to volume.
Give me a strategy.
Because here, I'm giving you a strategy right now. Did I trade it? No, I was looking for a bigger pullback. But here's the strategy. And I don't like to speak in definites. So to call something gambling that somebody might wait for, I think is doing a disservice to the opportunity that presents itself. I might be a great 3-point shooter, but I can't play in the post. That doesn't mean we can't play the same game. The strategy would be identify when volume comes into the market. That's this spike of volume right here. You see this VWAP attached to it. The long strategy, and I do this, traders who join me there and at the buzzer, pullbacks to VWAP as long as this volume is sustainable. So I'm reading two things here. What is the angle of this VWAP? What is volume doing? As long as it continues to build, that's where I want to be in long. You see how this volume stopped at the highest volume we have? Next strategy from there would be when we close below this, that's your short opportunity. The strategy ain't anything.
There's probably a few thousand strategies to trade events like this. You've seen mine. I scalped 10 points. You've seen two hashtag slow markets. They scalped and traded it. I mean, there's just so many ways to trade these markets. So maybe there's no strategy for you, and you just don't trade it. That's it. Move on to the next.
Yeah, guys. All right, let's end this.
We're gonna be here for another hour.
Let's end it.
All right. Take care, everybody, and I will see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Jay, I will see you as well. If not, Jay and I, Wednesday, we can continue the conversation. Can you make a living day trading futures? And maybe some more insights of what we have brewing. So take care, everybody, and see you later.